So I just got my hands on the Axoon Top Rig S40 slider. This slider is not new. It's been out on the market for a little while. I've used sliders in the past, mainly ones that have been owned by my friends, so I'm familiar with how they work. But this is the first one that I bought specifically for myself to do small product reviews here in the office, or whether it's for cameras or lenses or any kind of photography related equipment or videography related equipment that I want to give my insights on. And already, this has proven to be worth it. So let's talk about the build quality. The chassis of this slider is made of all metal construction. The slider itself works on a belt mechanism, and the manufacturers even included a spare belt and a tool for you to change that belt should you need, which I thought was a really, really nice touch. The control box is made of plastic, which is not really a big deal, but the buttons on the actual physical display, they don't feel the greatest, right? They're not premium, but ultimately you're not buying this for a premium product. My favorite thing about this whole setup, though, is the manual speed control knob. This thing allows you to get some really nice, smooth, precise movements out of this slider. This knob really just makes the entire unit just function that much easier, and it's probably my favorite thing about this whole setup. In the center of the slider, you'll see the panning bar mechanism. You can adjust this by loosening the knobs on either side and obviously moving it in the direction you want. If you want to do some very smooth panning motions toward the center of the slider, now you're going to move that slider away from you. And if you go the opposite direction, if you move it towards you, then you're going to be able to get some nice panoramic movements with your cameras. Now, the thing to keep in mind is that with the panning mechanism, there are no stop clicks or there are no click stops. So when you adjust it, it's just freely moving. So you are going to have to make sure you line things up how you want. You're just going to have to use your eyes to kind of see where you want it. The good thing is, though, they do include an etched bar graph. So you'll be able to at least use that as a visual aid when you're making your adjustments, or if you're trying to get it back to center, you at least know where the center mark is going to be. Flipping the unit over, you are going to see that you have both 3/8 and 4/4 20 mounting points, which is a well thought out implementation. Along with that, you will have some rubberized feet. These are adjustable. So say if you're not using a tripod and you're using this on some sort of flat surface, if it's not perfectly even, then you can at least use these rubber feet, and it has this twist ring where you can actually lock that foot into place. So if you need to fine tune an adjustment to get it to be balanced, you have that ability to do so. And also on the front included a little bubble bevel, which is a nice little feature. Now, what I absolutely love about this slider is just how easy this thing is to operate. Thanks to the built-in controls, I can get this thing up and running in no time. Now, yes, you do have the added benefit of being able to use an app to control the slider, but ultimately I'm not going to do that because realistically on the day, I don't want to have to waste time trying to get something connected. And let's face it, not all apps are created equal. So thanks to the built-in controls on this slider, I can just turn this on, get it calibrated, select my points, and be ready to rock. And I'm actually going to show you how to do that in just a second. So here's how this thing works. Once you have your battery in, all you're going to do is you're going to turn it on and you're going to hit the start button, and it's going to calibrate. You'll see that the slider will actually move from one point to another, and then once it finally finishes, then you know it's calibrated. Then at that point, you can go through and then you can start setting up your points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit my start button, pick a point, and then select that as my A point. Then I'm going to get it moving again, and I'm going to find a place to stop it. Let's say here. Then I'm going to select my B point. And now, when I hit the play button, it's going to go from point A back to B. And depending on how I have my panning mechanism centered, right now I have it centered, so it's just going to move from one side to the other. I'm going to show you something else that I absolutely love about this slider that I've not seen too many other sliders do. If you start a sequence and you want to make a change mid-sequence, it's not going to have to wait to finish the original sequence and then start the new one. It's actually going to start whatever you change or what you wanted to change as soon as you push the button. So right now I don't have it on loop. So I'm going to have it go back through the last two sets of points that I've already set, which is A and B. And you'll see when I hit the loop button, it's going to go through and just start looping immediately. It won't have to do one whole set from A to B and then finish. It'll do it as soon as I hit the button. And it works with speed, but speed has another caveat that we'll talk about here in just a second. So here it's moving to point A. I hit the loop button, You're going to see it goes all the way back to B, and it's going to revert all the way back to A and start the loop immediately. That's a fantastic feature. So now I'm going to talk about the whole changing speed mid-run. So as you just saw when I was doing the loop, the in and out has a bit of an ease in and ease out effect. So it's not just an abrupt stop at one point and then starts moving again. So there's a little bit of a smoother transition when you do that. However, when you change speed mid-run, you're going to introduce a more abrupt stop. For some reason, the speed is the only time that really changes. And I don't know exactly why that is. I don't know if it's an issue of it going from a certain speed and having to pick up, but whatever the case may be, it has to have at least one abrupt stop before it just continues with whatever it was doing. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So right now I have it set to a faster speed. Once it gets to point B, after it goes, I'm going to start changing the speed and lowering it. And then you'll see there's an abrupt stop as soon as it hits the point A, and when it resumes that loop, then you see more of that ease in and ease out effect. So just be mindful of it when you're changing speeds, when you're in the middle of a sequence. Now, here's a bonus feature. Now, on the actual tripod mount, you'll actually see that it's a 3/8 inch, but it's actually spring loaded. And when you depress the spring, it actually reveals a 1/4 20 screw, which I did not know the first time around. So that's actually a really ingenious feature. Uh, that's pretty clever. I've not seen that implemented, but you can use either 3/8 or 1/4 20 mounts on the actual platform screw. So kudos. Last thing I want to point out, and it's something that I did personally that you probably should not do, but one, when you open this box, be sure to read the manual. I have this bad habit of thinking I know electronics so well that I don't need to read the manual. So what I started doing is I started manipulating the carriage of the actual slider manually. Now without power, it's easy to move. However, once there's a power supply supplying power to it, there is a lot of tension that's applied to the carriage and the belt. It still allowed me to move it. It still allowed me to set points manually. However, just because I did it doesn't mean you should do it. And I don't recommend you doing this a whole lot. This does not take a whole lot of time to turn on and calibrate and control everything through the control box. But for some reason, you can set points manually. You can move the carriage manually, but I wouldn't do it, and I wouldn't do it too often. So just word to the wise. Don't break the slider. Don't be me. All in all, this is a solid product. The built-in controls, this thing is super easy to use. I have a couple of videos I'm going to be making where I'm going to be using this product to help me out quite a bit. So I will do some sort of follow-up in the near future to show just how well this worked in real-world situations. If you enjoyed this video, if you got something from this, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you want to see when I put those videos out showing you how well this worked out. I will have affiliate links down in the bottom of the description. They're affiliate links, so obviously you know how they work. You do help me out if you do so, choose to buy one of these. And with that, I got nothing else, so I'm gonna go play. Catch y'all later.